Virgo, you are up for the December Tarot Energy Reading. Before I go any further, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Okay, so this is the general reading for December. I will start working on the love readings and the money readings around Thanksgiving-ish weekend. So those will go up then. Also, new moon and Sagittarius reading for the collective. Full moon and Gemini reading for the collective will go up pretty soon as well. Whatever reading you watch or listen to, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. I'm just a person sitting here reading energy and the tarot cards. You know your story better than I ever could. Now that I've said that, let's go ahead and dive into the reading. I'm using one of my oracle decks, and then I will use the tarot deck afterwards. May I have the energy for Virgo for December? May I have the energy for Virgo for December? Energy for Virgo for December. What is it that Virgo needs to hear? What is it that Virgo needs to hear? What is it that Virgo needs to hear? May I have a card, please? Also, another thing, Virgo, when I was doing the pre-shuffle energy, there was something in regards to work. Somebody may be either leaving their job and going to another one, or they're retiring early. I feel like it's a situation of someone is cutting their losses and just like, okay, I'm out. I kind of feel like that's what's going on with the situation. So whether they're cutting their losses and just going to a different job, or whether they're cutting their losses and retiring early. You know, again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Thank you. Socrates. Okay. So with this divine connections, Socrates, divine connections. Let's go ahead and read that. What number is that? Where's the number at? Usually I can see it. Have to pull it up this way then. One second. There we go. What number was that? 35. Where's the 35 at? Okay, I digress. Let me hold this up while I read this. In ancient Greece, near the city of Athens, Socrates was born in one of the poorest villages in the land. He grew up an honest man and a popular scholar of his time. Philosophy and wisdom was, for Socrates, a deeply sacred path, a holy quest, and not something to be taken lightly. Now, this card, the meaning, emotionally. Socrates reminds us to bring the divine into your life and break down the walls that stifle and numb the creative soul. You have a story to tell inside your homes, or inside your bones. Ready to bear is honest face. Resolution is brewing, and apologies are forthcoming. Be open and take a step at a time. Spiritually, Socrates appears to us at unexpected times, connecting through dreams and visions to teach us new information. He activates the crown and throat chakra during energy work and when we are on our life's mission. He tells us the true philosophy has its roots in the streets among those living close to home. Okay, wait a second. Yeah, close to home of life. Showing us that continued resilience through life's lessons of struggle, pain, sorrow, and tragedy are catalysts for powerful breakthroughs. He reminds us that wisdom is not born to the rich and affluent, but learnt through sacrifices and hardships thrown in life. Consciously, he reminds us of our origins and where we've come from. He sits the ego down and points out the importance of connecting with our neighbors, family, friends, and strangers along the journey. So And there's more to this, but I'm just reading the basics of that. So lots of things to take away from this particular card. When it comes with divine connection, some of you may be receiving downloads. So you're receiving stuff in your dreams, or sometimes if you're just daydreaming where you're awake, but you see things. Also, there may be other things where your intuition is telling you stuff. Where, for example, let's say that your intuition is telling you to go to the grocery store on a certain day. And then you may run into somebody at the grocery store that may play a significant role in your life later on. It's just little things like that. So that's what this is talking about. Also, it's saying that for those of you who are not close to the divine spiritually, you may want to make an effort to strengthen that connection to give you the guidance that you need on whatever journey you take. Also, the other thing too, because don't forget, Virgo, your card in the tarot deck is the Hermit card, which the Hermit usually stays to themselves so they can reflect and get the knowledge, but they're not interacting with the public. This card is saying that in some situations you need to interact with the world so you can get different viewpoints on how life actually is versus just going by what you learn on your own. There may be things that you can learn from other people. All right, so let's go ahead and take a few tarot cards right quick, and let's see what we get. Energy for Virgo for December 2022. Energy for Virgo for December 2022. Energy for Virgo for December 2022. What is it that Virgo needs to hear? What is it that Virgo needs to hear? What is it that Virgo, I'm taking both these cards. I had a feeling that it was going to be some of that energy, needs to hear. Okay, going back to the work thing, some of you are definitely working on your independence, is what you're doing with the Nine of Pentacles. Some of you could already be in a very independent energy. Now also, King of Cups is here. This is Scorpio energy. And with the King of Cups is very much in control of his emotions. Now, you could be dealing with the King of Cups, or you could just be in King of Cups energy. And it doesn't matter if you're male or female. There's no gender in tarot. So that could be it. I feel if you have not reached this Nine of Pentacles, because Nine of Pentacles is pre-Empress energy. If you haven't reached the Nine of Pentacles yet, I feel that you're on your way. And you're being very measured in how you emotionally pursue things. And how things affect you emotionally as they're being pursued. So, yeah, I want to take some more cards. What is it that Virgo needs to hear? Thank you. Yeah, there's transformation that will be happening. And again, I'm going back to the job thing for some of you. You may be cutting your losses and leaving a job. Some of you may be starting your own business in doing that. Because Nine of Pentacles is entrepreneurial energy. So some of you may be starting your own businesses. But I just feel like it's a cut your losses type thing. Because I feel something will come to an end. And you will transition into something else. Is what I feel. So for that, let's see. And also there's kids outside playing. So if you're wondering what that noise is. The sun almost came out, but then it went back in. So definitely there's some happiness available to you. I just heard it's about, it depends on the decisions that you make. And yeah, the Tower now as well. So we have Death and the Tower. There's something that's coming to an end. The Tower can deal with enlightenment, but also the Tower can deal with something shocking, but also it can deal with something not being on a solid foundation. I feel for those of you, if this is a work situation, it was something where, I'm trying to figure out the words for this. The job paid the bills. There was an interest in the job. Over time, I feel the juice became less and less worth the squeeze. And the energy that you were putting into the job, over time, I feel like you weren't receiving as much back from the job as you were putting into it. And I also feel there are other surrounding circumstances with this particular job. And because of all of this stuff, this cocktail that has been put together is creating a tower moment, which is why it has to come to an end. Now, if this isn't a job, fine. It may be something else. But there's something where it was an accumulation of things over time, and then other surrounding issues on top of that all mixed together, which causes this tower moment. And again, I still feel like somebody is cutting their losses, is what they're doing. That is the energy that I'm picking up. The only thing is, and I'm going back to Socrates, for those of you who this is resonating with, where you're cutting your losses, don't automatically fall into hermit energy just because you're in this independent mindset or you have the resources to be independent. You still want to be open to other people offering some feedback or conversing with people along the journey so you can gain more knowledge and do that. Bottom of the deck is Knight of Wands. Fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So some of you may find yourself being very active. The Knight of Wands is an active card. It's a passionate card. The Knight of Wands doesn't let the grass grow under their feet. So I feel for some of you, with this new adventure that you're going on, it will have you more active. Thank you. What is this? Chariot reversed came out. So again, it's going to have to be about balance. Now, for some of you, that's why this tower happened. If this is a job situation, you weren't moving forward. Some of you could have Cancer in your chart, or you could have been dealing with the Cancer on the job. But you felt like you weren't moving forward, which is another reason why you're just cutting your losses, because you felt like, okay, there's no victory here at this job, because the Chariot is the victory card. But also with this Chariot coming out, this can be a reminder too, because don't forget, you have to have balance. You see the white horse and the black horse, they have two different energies and they're trying to go in different directions. You have to be able to control these energies to get them to go where you want them to go. In order to do that, you have to be balanced. If you're not balanced, the Chariot isn't going anywhere. It'll be in the reverse, which is how it was more than likely for those you are that are resonating with this at this job. The King of Cups is letting me know that you will more than likely be balanced on your journey. So I'm not worried about the Chariot going in the right direction. And bottom of the deck is the Page of Cups. So there's an offer. There may be an offer for a partnership. The only reason I say that because you have the King and the Page. 1 + 1 = 2. 2 of Cups is usually about partnerships. So someone may want to partner with you. But based off of this energy and the pre-shuffle energy, it's pretty much the same. I honestly feel like you're cutting your losses for whatever this is. Doesn't have to be a job. It could be something else, but really I feel like it's a job. So yeah, all right. So that is your energy from this reading. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Until next time, be blessed.